Everybody, it's now time for Eastern Illinois, and Coach Ballant is not going to be available today. He and his wife Kari have been traveling out of they're traveling out of the country to finalize an adoption of three sisters. So it's been a 4-year process for the Ballant family, and it's finally coming to some realization this week. So although we don't have him, we do have associate head coach Kyley Simmons with us, who's in her 4th year with the team and who played for Coach Ballant as an undergrad. So, Coach, thanks for taking your time to join us this morning. And we're going to have some media questions in just a second, but I just want you to start off just some general thoughts on how you feel this team is this year.
Yeah, we're just extremely excited to get the year started, and hopefully we get to play a full conference as much as possible. But we've been working hard. Our girls in the gym, we got a lot of returners back, and I think that's exciting for us to be more veteran. The first 3 years here, we haven't had that. So now leading in with, having Karle Pace as a senior, and Kyra Ardoffer and Lariah, they all have that year under them now. So we're really excited for the year, and we're working hard and just excited to get back on the court and play some games.
And before we go to any questions, a follow-up to that, with this year being anything but normal, how do you all try to keep this as normal as possible for your athletes?
Yeah, I mean, I think, besides wearing the mask and all the time that we haven't been able to spend together over the summer, I think our girls were working hard on their own. They were competing with each other, even though they were at home. And I think that's huge. We've built a culture here, and we're able to trust our girls and who they are and who they want to be, and the statements that they want to make this year. So we've just kept the future in mind and what our goals are for this season. And, we're looking forward to it. But that's how we've been able to just kind of move forward with this COVID stuff, is just keeping our eyes on the future, and thankful that we hopefully will be able to get to play some games.
Again, if you have a question for Coach, just let me know in the chat that you have one, and I will call on people in the order that I see them. Your team has made drastic improvement in the last couple of years in the number of wins. What's really been the difference? How have you all maintained that growth, and will continue to try to do that?
Yeah, I mean, I would just say the culture is where it's at. It's not easy to build a culture of high quality character kids. And that's something that we've really taken pride in our recruiting process. It's been fun to see the kids that we've recruited be able to grow our culture and our program on and off the court. Holding above a 3.0 all 3 years that we've been here, that's huge for us. That just shows the quality kids that we recruit and we have. But with that being said, I think, their character on the court, they just want to get better, and they're willing to compete every single day. And that's been the biggest piece of it, is just being able to recruit those kids that want to compete on and off the court. And we've been able to coach those kids and get those kids in here.
Anybody have a question? I will keep going until somebody puts one in the chat. So there we go. Rob, you're up first. Go ahead and ask your question.
Hi, Kyley.
Hi.
Rob Calhoun. How did the team feel after being picked to finish 5th in the OVC after finishing 4th last year?
Yeah, I think we respect our league. Our league's great. The people in front of us, they're really well coached. They have high character kids and really talented kids. So we're excited where we're at. We're happy with 5th, and we're ready to prove ourselves to be 4th or be 3rd in the conference, or to try to go for that championship this year. But we're really happy with where we're at. We know we have improvement to continue to make, and we're going to just keep working to do that. But we respect where we're at and where we're picked, and just know that we got to keep working and get better every single day.
Coach, a little bit more on that, the depth of the league. If you just look at the preseason all of EC team, those were just all returners from last year. As you all have made those strides too, it seems like the level, everybody else in the league has taken it to the higher level as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you look at Chelsea Perry from Tennessee Martin. I mean, that kid is extremely talented. and just what Belmont has bringing in. I know they have a transfer playing this year. Now, our league is really tough and they're really good, and it helps that they're really well coached too. So we're just looking forward to competing every single day. We're lucky to be able to coach a Karle Pace and Lariah Washington, and we're going to continue to grow and get better so we can compete with these really good teams.
And we're going to have Karle on later in this segment. So can you just talk a little bit more about her and how she's developed and what she's meant to the team?
Yeah, Karle Pace is such a special kid. On the court, she has been really working on her defense and just her drive to get better defensively. She knows that she can score the ball. She's very confident in that area of her game. But I would just say the area I'm really proud of her in is defensively. She's just taken pride in that. She knows that we have to be better defensively this year to win those big games. And she's a huge piece in that. When she's on the floor, for her to be able to get stops and get her teammates excited about the defensive end of things, that's going to help us take a huge step with our team. And just seeing her will to work hard and improve, and it doesn't come easy for her on the defensive end, and she's really taken pride in that, and I'm just so proud of her in that area. So hopefully she can help us take a step there this year.
We'll go next to if I say this wrong, I'm sorry, Alexandra, your question, please.
You said it right. Thank you. How does it feel that you guys are coming off one of the best seasons with head coach Matt Bowen, and you've returned all 5 starters? Just what are you going to try to, I guess, excel on or add from last season?
Yeah, Coach Bullant has done a great job. We've had a lot of fun turning this program around, and the biggest thing is just going to be taking a step with being veterans and having those veteran players, which, like I said, we haven't had in the past, and you mentioned that, but we have that now. And so how can we grow from last year and just continuing to teach and compete on the floor? That's what it's about. But I think we're just really excited for the future, and, being picked 5th, it gives us something to have go after and have a chip on our shoulder. We're really excited about that, and just putting on a front that, we know we have things to get better at, but we got to still carry ourselves with some swag. So we're just really excited. And I know Coach Bullant, he's been preparing these girls all summer long, even though they've been at home, and we've been trying to do everything we can. So we're excited to get on the court.
And just a follow-up question for you personally, what are you looking forward to this season?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Just what are you looking forward to this season?
Yeah, I would think, we got great seniors. I'm extremely excited to coach our seniors that we've had for 4 years. And that's exciting. We get to go back to Karle Pace's home state to play a lot, and she's going to be really ready to prove stuff this year, and she knows that this is the year that she has everything to give, and she's going to leave it all out on the floor. So it's going to be really fun to see what these seniors can bring for us this year. And then on top of that, I'm just really excited to see our young players develop into even more bigger roles to take on, and maybe more of a scoring role for some players. So I'm just excited overall to watch our team grow defensively and get on the court.
We'll go next to Rob Calhoun again, and then Mike Brad after that. So Rob, go ahead.
You have 4 freshmen coming in. You also have a transfer player coming in. Could you tell us a little bit about them?
Yeah, our transfer, Bree Mischler, we're really excited. She's going to bring another scoring role for us. She's extremely talented, has a great feel for the game. Love her personality. We're really excited for her, just for the veteran piece. She kind of adds a little bit more. She's already played a season at her previous school, so she just has that experience that you don't always get in a freshman. But our freshmen, they're working hard. They're a great group. So we're just continuing to grow. I think defensively, that's where we got to continue to work with them. It's not easy to guard a senior when you're a freshman on the floor, but they're willing to compete every single day, and we love coaching them. They have great attitudes, come from great families. So we're just really excited. Hopefully they can play a role in our team this year. And I think by doing that, it's going to be defensively for them, just showing that they can improve and be able to guard the best.
And then Mike Brad.
Hey, Kyley, we've seen a lot of your roster play in the past, obviously. Is there somebody that we're going to, when we see them play this year, we're going to be like, oh, wow, they've really jumped up or improved over last year? Somebody's going to surprise us?
Yeah, and I don't know that she's a surprise. She had a couple good games last year, but Jordan Hughes out of Chicago, she is a three-point shooter, very talented offensively, and can guard the heck out of the dribble. We're really excited what she's showing us. Her confidence has taken a step as far as shooting the basketball. So I really expect her to be one that everybody kind of turns their head and goes, oh, wow, that kid's really improved. She's worked hard. She's been in the gym. So she's one that I'm super excited to see just because of her confidence right now and where it's at. I think you can expect that from Bree Mishler, our transfer as well, just being able to come in and knock down the three for us. So we got a great group. We got a lot of girls that we're excited about, but those two I would expect to turn some heads for us.
If anybody else has a question, just put it down there in the chat, and I will call on you. I have another one, Coach. The competition, it's more than just about athletic competitions in the field. That you say the OVC schools, it's a family. Can you talk a little bit about your program's family mentality and how they're there for each other, and just that importance?
Yeah, it's huge. We've done a really good job with this, I think, through the recruiting process as well as just inter squad stuff. We take it to heart when it's somebody's birthday. We celebrate the littlest things, and I think that's huge. I think it speaks volumes for the family atmosphere that we've built here. Everybody, not just our program, but our whole university, we have that feel, and I think it's extremely important to be successful. But just a couple things that we do as a program, it's just uplifting. We have a group chat that we're all in, and we just let everybody know what's going on in our lives at the moment through that group chat. And I think it's super important to be able to be open. That's something that our doors are always open. We have girls come up and in our offices all the time. So just keeping that atmosphere open and healthy and happy, that's been the biggest piece for us as far as the family atmosphere. And Coach Bolant does a great job of just getting to know the girls once they do come in and continuing to care about them after they graduate. And I'm a great example of that. I know you guys heard that I played for him, but he cares about you after you're done playing. And I think that's something that we take pride in as coaches. And our girls believe that, they know that. So we're extremely family oriented over here, and it's helped us build this culture.
Anybody else? A question for Coach? I got one more for you then, Coach, and we'll see if anybody else has. What do you think the biggest challenge might be for your team this year?
I would say defensively right now, just having the urgency every single possession on the defensive end. We got to be ready to go. We got to get our defense set as much as we can. But if we come and we show urgency on the defensive end, we're gonna be able to show up every night, and we're gonna be able to take that with us to each game. That's gonna be able to travel with us. Shots don't always fall. We all know that. So defense has to be able to travel, and we got to be able to do that every single day. And I think right now we got to keep working on that. We got to keep working.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you filling in today and taking time to join us, and best of luck to your team this year.
Sure. Thank you so much.
If everybody will hold tight, we will have Karle Pace, senior guard, joining us in just 1 second. Perfect. Well, thanks for taking time this morning. For you personally, what are you most looking forward to this season?
Personally, I'm just excited that we're actually having a season this year. There was times where I thought that we wouldn't have a season, and it was just kind of nerve-wracking, and now it's actually coming up. It's actually happening, and I'm just ready to play with my girls.
What was the hardest adjustment for you, just through the pandemic, through March, being away from the, for the summers? Typically you wouldn't be, to get to this point. So right now.
The hardest part for me was not having, a lot of gym access. Usually after the season, you have, a little break, but that you take, but never that long of a time that I wasn't able to be into the gym. And usually, being with the girls not for 6 months, it was just a long time for us to not have actually been together. So that was pretty hard for me, but I would say those two things, being away from my teammates and not having enough gym time.
Were you able to take advantage of, group chats or Zooms or whatever to bring your teammates together? And did that make you, closer to each other since you weren't physically in the same place?
Yeah, we have great coaches, and we actually had meetings, like Zoom meetings every week. So we were staying in contact with the girls, with the coaches. Everyone was still talking sales, what everyone was doing over quarantine. So we still had that contact. We still had that tight knit family type, even though we were away from each other for that long.
Well, we're going to go to some questions here we have from the media. Again, if you have a question, just let me know in the chat. Alexandra, if you'd like to start us off.
Hi, so you had a really successful season last year. Just what are you looking to improve on this year for your senior year?
So as being a senior, I just want to be more of a leader. I want to get my teammates more involved. I don't want it to just be, obviously it never was, but I just want the focus just not be more on me, just be on every single person on the floor, all 5 of us, for us to be that team. And I just feel like if we were all doing great, then there's no limit to where we can go.
And just another question, you guys are coming off your best season under your head coach, and you have all 5 starters returning. Just what are you kind of just talked about this, but what are, during this crazy season, just how awesome is that you have everyone returning, and how are you going to try to excel on that season record?
Honestly, it's so good to have every single person back. And even though we did have some troubles with quarantine and not being able to get in the gym, I feel that everyone came back a lot better. Just each piece, you have 5 positions. I feel like every single position has gotten better. So we're just a better team overall. And then we have players coming in who are gonna get minutes, and I think that they're gonna produce for us. We just have more pieces and more depth.
Next, we'll go to Rob Calhoun. Rob, ask your question.
Okay, Coach Simmons talked about the family atmosphere there. Karle, could you talk about that? And how do you get the freshmen into that family atmosphere and get them feeling like they're a part of the family?
Yeah, so that's another thing, though. The freshmen, they were in the Zoom calls over the summer. It was a little kind of awkward at first. We didn't really know them. And usually you take that summer to get to know the freshmen, and they get to, just get a feel for what it's going to be like. So we didn't really have that. But honestly, as soon as we all got here, we clicked so hard. Everyone fit in so well. It's really nice. We've never really had a team where everyone is clicking, everyone is together all the time. We've usually had kind of a little cliques and stuff, a group here, but honestly all of us get along. We all go hang out together during the week, on the weekends. It really surprised me that we clicked so well, because we didn't have that piece this summer.
Anybody else? Excuse me, question for Karle? Just let me know down there in the chat. Karle, since you actually go ahead, Rob. Go with your follow-up, and then I'll have one.
What's it going to take for this team to get to the next level? I know that you got to the OVC semifinals and you got a taste of what it's like to be in the tournament. What do you think it's going to take that next step?
So we've said it a lot in practice, but definitely defense, because you're not always going to make shots. we know that I've had bad games. Everyone's had bad games. It's not always going to be great on offense, but one thing that you can do every game is play defense. And, I've been focusing on that a lot more this year because, Coach B always tells me your best players have to be your best defenders. And I've just been taking it a little bit more personally this year and really trying to, get stops, really focus on that. And I think that's our piece because if in the tournament, when we played Jacksonville State, we didn't play offensively well at all, but we played defense. And so that's what got us to the next level. And I just think this year, rebounding, getting stops and going in transition, that's just going to be the key for us.
Karle, how was the OVC tournament experience last year? You all have kept improving and keep winning more games, and you got a little bit farther last year, but what was that like to help you prepare when you get there this year?
Honestly, it was kind of unreal. Like I've been there, for 3 years, and that was my first time going. So it was kind of like a shock. I was excited, nervous, everything. There were so many emotions, but honestly now I think I can calm down a little bit and I'll be ready for it. I know the feeling, so now I'll be fine.
Oh, that's part of it. You gotta be there before you can take it further. And your coach talked about this a little bit about the level of competition that you all have played in the OVC, and there's a lot of returning players and a lot of good teams. Can you talk a little bit about that too, and just how many good players and you've played?
Oh man, my class is just monster class, honestly. Like Chelsea Perry, Maddie Waldrop, Tessia Thompson. Like it's just man, of course I had to be a part of this class, right? But yeah, they're so good. And it's just stopping them because they're great players. They're going to make great plays, but how many great plays? We just got to limit those plays. And if we can do that, we can beat anybody, honestly. But those players are so good. You got Brock from Tennessee Tech and Keisha Bradley. There's some teams that just have great players. And, that's why defense is so important because we got to limit those good players. We got to limit their shots. We got to limit their offensive possessions,
What's the most important thing you've learned since you've been in college? And maybe that's athletically or not athletically off the court.
I would just say the most important thing is probably just take advantage of the moment. Like it only comes once in a lifetime, you don't get another 4 years of college. You don't get another group of girls that you're going to call sisters when you're done. You just got to take advantage, live in the moment.
Well, anybody else, other questions for Karle? No, that's the perfect way in it. Karle, thank you so much for your time. Best of luck to you and your teammates this season.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys for having me. Bye.